If you believe that you knew how to solve many of the problems plaguing society, you would scream the solutions from the rooftops, right? One author left his home in Virginia and traveled to Arkansas not to scream solutions, but to calmly share his insights at a pastor's breakfast. Natural State Update's Jason Pederson was there.
Trying to change the country by focusing on politics is a little bit like trying to change the weather by playing with a thermometer.
Author J.P. DeGance believes he knows the best way to reverse troubling trends like the epidemic of loneliness, the rise of depression, and the number of children who grow up without a father in the home. DeGance says the answer is get married, stay married, and join a church.
Churchgoers, on average, are less lonely than non-churchgoers. We know that only 22% of churchgoers are considered lonely, whereas about half of all Americans are. But once you peel that back, only 15% of the married are considered lonely, and about half of the unmarried are considered lonely.
DeGance recently met with a group of church leaders in Central Arkansas at the invitation of the Central Arkansas Marriage Initiative and City Church Network. His message? While youth ministries, missions, divorce care, and other church initiatives are all good things, marriage support and strengthening families needs to be the main thing.
Most first-time marriages last a lifetime, okay? The statistic that half of all marriages end in divorce isn't true and never was true, okay? So the skills for living marriage well are both known and knowable, and they're things that we can teach. We're here in Arkansas, my organization, Communio, to talk to pastors and talk about equipping the local church to have relationship ministry that teaches the skills of a Christ-centered relationship.
Endgame, a book co-authored by DeGance, shares some of those successes. For example, a focused outreach effort in Jacksonville, Florida, led to a 24% decline in the divorce rate. And the largest church in Pennsylvania now has a thriving marriage ministry impacting tens of thousands.
We're so appreciative of Communio and JP coming in to do this and really kind of ignite what we're hoping will be a great movement going forward.
We know that marriage has a positive impact on children. Happily married couples do better economically, they live longer. So in every way, you know, this social science, the history tells us that marriage is good for the community. There's great opportunity for the churches to be more involved, more intentional in the way that we do marriage ministry.
DeGance says that while he believes healthy relationships and strong marriages can reverse many of society's ills, 85% of churches don't spend any money on marriage ministry, while billions are spent on student ministries.
He's 100% right. I mean, that's where I started, in youth ministry. And so, you know, the church, I came from a smaller church, and so funding was always tight. And so if we were going to spend on something, it was going to be, hey, what's the next youth thing? How are we going to get them involved? How are we going to keep going? What are we going to do for fun? You know, camp's coming up, all this stuff. It was all good. But yeah, there was not much spent, you know, on focusing on the family.
The loneliest group in church isn't the widow or the elderly. It's actually 30 to 39-year-olds who've never married. They're the loneliest group within a church's congregation. So if we're serious about combating loneliness, we got to understand that the path out of it is healthy relationships that can lead to lifelong marriage.
For Natural State Update, I'm Jason Pederson.
DeGance says that 4 out of 5 people in the pews on any given Sunday morning, or 80%, grew up in a home where mom and dad stayed continuously married. If you would like to learn more about how to bring a relationship or marriage ministry to your church, please visit centralarkansasmarriage.org. And we also want to let you know about an upcoming fun event for you and your spouse, Couples Comedy Date Night. Us in Mind with Ted and Nancy Lowe will be Friday, October 13th and includes dessert. You can find a link to buy tickets under this story.